stringent measures were put in place to conserve energy, and everybody was on a 3-day week. And I don't know if you can remember this, Stuart, but there were power cuts in all the houses. We were kids at the time, and your mum would come running in with candles. Do you remember that, Stuart, as kids?
Very much so. I think I was 11 or 12 at the time. I had a Subbuteo set with the floodlights. So I had 4 floodlights, and when the lights used to go off at about 6 o'clock, we used the Subbuteo floodlights to eat tea with.
Is that a true story, or is that made
That
up?
is true. No, honestly, I swear on my life. That's what we used to do. It was either candles, torches, or something like that, and I happened to have 4 floodlight
I
pylons.
thought it was going into 4 candles kept in. 2 rungs.
Anyway, the football clubs weren't allowed to use their floodlights. For example, at Queen's Park Rangers, my club, we were forced to play 2 home matches on weekday afternoons. So I can remember slyly skipping out of school unnoticed at the end of morning classes, and then running down to Golders Green tube station to meet my uncle Sean, and we go to Loftus Road on the tube. And the first occasion was when QPR beat Chelsea 1-0 in an FA Cup third round replay. So there was a draw on the Saturday. The replay had to take place in midweek. They couldn't use the floodlights until lunchtime, 1:30 p.m. kickoff on Tuesday, the 15th of January 1974, and a bumper crowd of 28,715 packed into Loftus Road. Everybody was making excuses. My grandfather died, my uncle's in hospital, I've got a dental appointment. There were 28,700 people with all these excuses, and Stanley Bowles scored the winning goal with a header. And I can remember coming back on the Northern Line in the afternoon with my uncle and telling everybody on the platform at Tottenham Court Road that Stanley Bowles had scored the winning goal. And it was an incredible time. It wouldn't happen now. You wouldn't be allowed to play in the middle of a weekday afternoon. And the miners' strike.
You never know, Tony. Don't rule it out.
Behind closed doors now, but in the future. But the miners' strike eventually ended on the 6th of March 1974, and football was able to return to floodlit evening matches.
Tony, can I pick your brains here? Sorry, Sam.
Yeah.
Can I pick your brains? That Chelsea game that was replayed during the day, did the wall at the Loftus Road end collapse or something like that? Do you remember that?
You've got a great memory. I know you were a QPR supporter.
Yeah.
What happened was, in those days there weren't all ticket games, so people would just turn up and pay, and there were big terraces. And there was a thing in London football at the time where fans would go in the home end, it was called taking the lot. The away fans would take over the whole of the lot. And Chelsea fans surged forward, and there was a little wall at the front that separated the first 4 rows of terraces where it was a boys' enclosure, and all the kids would stand in that enclosure, and the Chelsea fans surged forward, and the wall collapsed, and it was terrible. Fortunately, nobody was hurt, but you've got a great memory, Stuart. That's fantastic.
We've got to leave it there, Tony, mainly because you sounds like you're getting snowed under. The great freeze of 1962-63 has come back to haunt you, I'm afraid. But thank you very much, TalkSport football fanatic Tony Incenzo. I can't believe that his uncle was complicit in him bunking off school. I think that's the big headline there.
Thing is, his uncle needed someone to go with. As he said, if he gets found out, I had to look after the wee man. Couldn't let him go on his own.
Yeah. I was doing it for. I was doing it to make sure that he was okay, that he was safe.
And then passed him down to the front, and then didn't see him for another 2 hours. Better thing to do than you pass down to the front, so I can have a couple of beers with mates.
Good stuff. Back with Stuart Pearce and Perry Groves very shortly on Talk Sport. We've got another game changer sequence, and we'll be talking to Stuart Pearce's former landlord. That's coming next.
Drive with Adrian Durham and Darren Goff. Home-time radio you can trust for scrupulously double-checked breaking sports news. Check for thoroughly genuine opinions, passionate detail, and rugged debate. Check. High-quality recommended drive-time radio. Check out Drive with Adrian Durham and Darren Goff. Weekdays from 4 on TalkSport. Check a trade. Search over 36,000 recommended trades and services today.
Give me a shout when you can hear me, so I think there's a delay.
Don't miss out. Play your numbers online or on the app today. Lotto, the national lottery. Your numbers make amazing happen.
Okay, so I'm just testing the OBS studio connection with YouTube. So I'm just going to transition back to main. This is going to be the main view. Users will see.
exercise or to work.
Gotcha.
Even if you cannot work from home.
And this will be the
And anyone can spread it.
end of score. So
Stay home, protect the NHS, save lives.
Motor, wheels, ride, rig, run around, pick up, camper, pocket rocket, mum's taxi. We've all got different names for our cars and vans, and at Adrian Flux, we provide motor insurance that's as unique as you are. Get the cover you need at a price you'll love, with a personally tailored quote from the UK's largest car and van insurance specialists, Adrian Flux. To find out more and get an instant competitive quote, go to adrianflux.co.uk. Adrian Flux. We do insurance differently.
And coming up on the Saturday sessions, we look back at a classic FA Cup semi-final that sent Hull City to their first ever FA Cup final. All before we leave you on this programme, first of all, let's get a latest news update. Here's Ross Powell.
The Housing Secretary Robert Jenrick has announced an extra £1.6 billion in funding for councils in the fight against COVID-19. It comes after several local authorities complained that the services they provide could suffer. Speaking to the government's daily briefing, Mr Jenrick has also admitted the government needs to do more on the issue of personal protective equipment. It comes amid fears that current supplies of equipment could run out this weekend. And all of this comes as the number of coronavirus fatalities in the UK has now risen past 15,000. Further 888 deaths have been reported as of 5 o'clock yesterday, making a total of 15,464.
Keep it on and stay informed. Hawksby and Jacobsen. You don't need live sport to talk sport. Talk sport. Give coronavirus the red card.
6 years and 4 days ago, Premier League Hull City gave their fans a day to remember at Wembley when they earned a place in the FA Cup final for the very first time. Their opponents were League One Sheffield United, but the top flight team didn't have it all their own way. John Bracken with the cross in for the right hand. Jose Baxter! What a fantastic start to this FA Cup semi-final. Sheffield United take the lead. Now they're playing down the right-hand side. It's Liverpool. Puts the ball into Renetta. To Sakho! Sliding in. Through for the net. Equaliser. Jamie Murphy's down the left-hand side. He's got it in the goal. Slides it in. And Stefan Skugel and Sheffield United back in front. It comes to Chester. Near in. And Bryant there. Sweeps it in. Chester got enough on the ball to put it back into the 6-yard box. And Matt Bryant, who's been on the pitch 3.5 minutes, a second half substitute, sweeps it in. Huddleston moving forward. He is in the centre of the half and he's gone round the defender. Now he's in on goal. Left-footed shot. And Tom Huddleston has turned this one around in the space of 8.5 second half minutes. Lovely little run through by Livermore. He's onside. He's 8 yards out. Can he clip the ball in? Yes, he can. And it's towards Stephen Quinn, who's only been on the pitch a couple of minutes. Quinn coming in. The ball was ever so slightly behind him. He has to dive backwards, get his head on it, but he can direct it into goal. Howard had absolutely no chance. And Hull City have produced a monumental turnaround. That's in by Harris towards Flint. Back post. Deflected down. And there it is. It's Jamie Murphy who's got in there. And Sheffield United have themselves a lifeline. Steve Bruce is saying take it to the corner. But they're not going to. He's into a failure. Edge of the box. Can he finish it up? Right-footed shot. Side footed. Corner of the net. And that will put the tin lid on it. A minute of injury time to play. And David Miley makes it Hull City 5, Sheffield United 3. That was back at commentating live on TalkSport that afternoon. I was commentating on that game for ITV at the time. It was a magnificent game. I remember standing on the touchline prior to the match and sort of mixing with the Hull City players who were very, very excited about it. But they got off to